I'm looking for 10,000 in the midst of a million. Listen, listen. I'm looking for 10,000 in the midst of the million.
Millions. Midst of the million.
10,000 fearless men.
Yes, men.
Who say death is sweeter than continued life under tyranny.
Again, this is Blair Brothers Production. I'm Neil Blair. We got brother Shaun Muhammad on the couch today. How you doing, brother Muhammad?
I'm fine, sir. Praise to Allah.
Appreciate it. Now we want you to just introduce yourself to the people and tell me your position.
Yes, sir. My name is Brother Shaun Muhammad. I'm the student minister for the Nation of Islam here in the city of Augusta, Georgia. And I like to say that it's an honor to be here on the dirty couch.
That's big. That's big.
Yes, sir.
So what are y'all actually doing in the community?
Well, we've been working in the community for over 83 years now. And what we do is try to elevate the consciousness of the mission of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is to resurrect the dead. Meaning to get information and knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to our people, because that's the only way we can make progress.
That's big. That's big. So what is the difference between Muslims and Christians? We always hear the Muslims going against the Christians. What is the actual difference you think between Muslims and Christians?
Well, it really shouldn't be any difference. You know, a Muslim is one who submits his will entirely to do the will of God. And we all should be striving to do the will of God.
Absolutely.
A Christian is one who is crystallized in oneness with God, following the example of Jesus Christ, which Jesus submitted his will entirely to do the will of God. He said, not my will be done, but thy will be done. So if he submitted and we're following Jesus, and the Muslims are following the same Jesus, we believe in Jesus also, and we're submitting our will to do the will of God, then it shouldn't be no difference. Maybe the difference is the theology. The difference may be in the way we were taught. You know, you have a lot of different denominations, and you have a lot of people with different ideologies and ways that they believe in God, that may not be in line with the scriptures. So if you're in line with the scriptures and you obey God, then we shouldn't have any differences. The only differences we see really basically come from Satan. Since God is the author of peace and not confusion, man, he didn't come up with all these different religions, that man came up with and made up. So if we all got the true knowledge of God, then it wouldn't be any differences between the Christian and the Muslim or the Jews.
And that goes into my next question, man. The younger generation, they did the Malcolm X movie and all that, and that movie kind of like made us go towards Malcolm X. But every time I speak to a Muslim, they kind of say that Malcolm X was a traitor. You get what I'm saying? Like, how do y'all feel about Malcolm X?
Well, I can't speak for everybody in the Nation of Islam and how they feel about Malcolm X. I can say how I feel about Malcolm X, and I heard the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan speak about his relationship with Malcolm X. My relationship, I didn't have one because he was killed in 1965. But I read and I heard some of Malcolm X tapes, and that kind of helped me in my studies. Before I came into the Nation of Islam, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X. And I grew to understand the situation and what went on at that time. In the Nation of Islam, we really don't discuss Malcolm X, in the past a lot. We mostly move forward and see what's going on in the day and what time it is, and try to do what it takes to get our people where we need to be at in this day and time. You have a lot of people may look back and have negative things to say about Malcolm X. They may have negative things to say about Martin Luther King, but all of those men were great men, and we wouldn't be where we are at today if it was not for those men. A lot of those who talk against Malcolm X today, they're speaking strong today because Malcolm X spoke strong back then.
That's big. That's big. So that goes into the leader today. Y'all leader today is Minister Louis Farrakhan. Like, how do you think he's doing? Is he doing a great job as far as right now?
Well, that's like asking a first grader, this college professor how he's doing. I'm nowhere in his class. I can say this though, if a college professor was doing a good job, then he would keep his job.
Absolutely.
You know, Mr. Farrakhan is a man of God, and he's still in that position as the man of God, so evidently he's doing a great job. You know, it's a lot of things that's been done by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that would look like miracles to us. You know, there's no way in the world I could have called for 1 million men to come to Washington, D.C., and 2 million people would have showed up.
They came up.
I don't have that kind of attracting power. You know, and Mr. Farrakhan didn't just get that out of a magic hat. I mean, he went all over the world, all over the country, everywhere working.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I don't see anybody else at that magnitude that can do that kind of work the way the Minister Louis Farrakhan has worked in the past and has worked and still working. I mean, you can just look at the past last year when we had the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March to show it wasn't a fluke. He called for 1 million, and we had over 1 million again.
That's real.
And so he's not only working in America, he works all out through the world. I mean, everywhere he goes in the world, you know, people know who he is. They come out to see him, and I mean, they treat him with much more respect than he's treated with here in America.
Now, you actually invited my brother and I, Fahim and I, to the Million Man March, and we went, man, and it was so powerful. As far as the feedback, what kind of feedback did you get? Was the Million Man March a success?
Well, anytime we're called out and then given instructions, the instructions is not based on the man who gave the instructions. The instructions is based on the people to follow those instructions out. You know, and whether it's a success or not, it means, well, we came back to our community and did what we were asked to do. And I think it was a success. You know, he asked us to boycott Christmas, you know, don't do no shopping during the Christmas holidays. And you see a lot of Walmarts and Sears and a lot of these other stores, they had to shut down.
They did, yeah.
You know, so it was a great effect to it. You know, we just have to do more in our communities, you know, and we got to get in our communities and just make them a better place to live. But it's going to take our unity, and that's the thing that the minister has been trying to do for years, you know, since he's been in the seat of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You know, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is still the leader of the Nation of Islam, but Mr. Farrakhan is his national representative, and he's the leader amongst us today. But with that being said, I mean, if we hear him as a leader, if we recognize him as a leader, we hear him as a leader, then we follow his instructions and we will be successful.
Yes, sir. Now, you all came back, and I see y'all working. Y'all doing something at a house or something like that. What are y'all doing at that house?
Well, Mr. Farrakhan said, look, I want y'all to go, I want 10,000 fearless men and women.
Yeah.
You know, and he was going on his tour trying to get people motivated to come to the Million Man March, the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. And he just said, well, I need 1 million men and women, you know, the fearless men and women, you know, who would come out and stand in between the guns and the gangs and stop the violence in our communities, you know, and go into our communities and make a decent place to live. So what we're doing on Olive Road, we were looking for a house because we want to go into some of the bad neighborhoods, rough neighborhoods, and take some of those old houses and fix them up and make the neighborhood a decent place to live. Stay around that neighborhood and start working in the neighborhood. What we want to do is patrol that neighborhood. We want to get our own patrol cars, you know, and patrol our communities. And we want to start working in those communities. We're going to have food banks. We're going to have all kind of different. For a matter of fact, we got a few things that we want to have community control. We want to do counseling because you know how people need counseling.
Right,
we have a food bank.
Right.
We also want to do conflict resolutions. You know, actually, when we get into a conflict, a lot of times we'll call the police, come out, and we'll wind up dead. You know, all we want to do is settle the conflict.
That's real.
So we have a conflict resolution center where people can come in and sit down and work out their differences. You know, instead of them calling the police, they can call us. You know, there's also an information center, a place where you can have youth programs. You know, it's sitting on actually an acre of land,
Wow.
so it's got a lot of land, especially in the back. We want to do study groups, educational programs, culinary arts, community outreach, and a training center. You know, training program to train us how to act with our people. You know, they're always talking about police need more training. But we can train ourselves.
Right.
We go into our own communities, and with the right training, we know how our people act, and we know how we act, and we know how we need to act towards our people in order to resolve it in a peaceful manner.
Now, all that information will be in y'all newspaper too. We always see y'all selling these newspapers. What are these newspapers, and why are they more important than maybe the Augusta Chronicle or any other newspaper?
Well, because it's black owned, black operated, one thing, and it helps finance the Nation of Islam operations. and it also has is a message that's dedicated to the upliftment, rise, and salvation and resurrection of the black nation. And so when you get that newspaper, you get the newspaper that's not diluted with all kind of falsehoods. It's a newspaper that has undiluted truth in it. And when you get that newspaper, you don't get all kind of filthy advertisements. We don't advertise cigarettes. We don't advertise alcohol and beers. None of those people sponsoring that newspaper.
Right.
So that newspaper can tell the truth. See, when you get a newspaper that you got sponsors, then sometimes you have to stay in line with what the sponsors want, or you might lose those sponsors. And so we have to get out and push that newspaper to our people. And our people really need to wake up and get that newspaper, because a lot of our people think, well, we're trying to promote Islam. But the newspaper is not promoting Islam. What the newspaper is doing is giving you what's going on throughout the world.
Real.
And when you read and know what's going on throughout the world, then you're more educated on what you should do. See, when you don't know, the Bible says that in the book of Hosea, our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Absolutely.
It don't say for the lack of the Bible. It don't say for the lack of the Quran. It's just for the lack of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And so what we're doing on that corner with that Final Call newspaper is trying to get our people some knowledge. And as we get knowledge, then we can operate better. See, it's hard to work with people if they don't have knowledge.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times they're rejected. The Bible says he came to his own, but his own received him not. The light shined in the darkness, but the darkness comprehended it not. And the light only represents knowledge.
Yes, sir. And you have a store and all that. So what I want you to do now is just tell the people about your store, when they can come out and visit you all. If you're on social media, I want you to tell the people all about your social media.
Well, the store is on 2540 Millersville Road, and actually we do some cooking there. We have a menu that you can come in and place your order for some food. But we also have body oils, black soaps, shampoos, creams. We have tapes of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We have also books and stuff like that, so you can get knowledge. Like Message to the Black Man, The Fall of America, How to Eat to Live. Our Savior Has Arrived, and some other books. So, come on out and support it.
Absolutely.
Everybody's trying to say they're looking for a black business. There's plenty of black businesses around.
There's plenty.
We just gotta go out and look for them and
Yes,
try
sir.
to find the black businesses and make sure we give our money to our own. Everybody supports their own. We the only one have a problem with supporting our own. We love the devil because the devil give us nothing.
You said a lot, man.
But for social media, I'm on Facebook sometimes, but I really don't have a lot of social media outlets. I get on Facebook and post some things every now and then, but that's about far as it is with social media.
And you say they can come out. You guys on every Sunday.
Right, on Sunday for us, our study group meetings, mosque meetings, then on Sunday start at 11 o'clock, and that's at 2517 Millersville Road, right in the Millersville Plaza. 11 o'clock a Wednesday night. You could also come in on Wednesday night at 7:30. It's a Friday night at 7:30. Now just give me a call at 706-877-4921.
Again, Brother Muhammad, we appreciate you for getting on the Dirty Couch, man. This has been another Black Brothers production. Thank you, Brother Muhammad.
Thank you.
We out.
Thank you. Good honor.
We will never live in peace together until we piece together the fragments of the bigger picture. In a world ruled by Hammurabi laws, there is no victor. And if you cannot see that a change must come, I pray your vision becomes clearer. Love, harmony, integrity, those are the elixirs. Can you see the extent of the illness in our society? People are tired and their weary souls are rioting. We need understanding. We demand it. We need enlightening. So proudly raise your fist in the air as a symbol of care and future solidarity. And proudly keep your fist up as we fight on. Be the change you wish to see. Power to the people. Power to unity.